My name is Seva Khalsa, and I'm living here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I am a midwife. I'm a licensed midwife or a direct entry midwife, which means that I'm not a nurse. I practice home births, and we do prenatal care and the whole thing. But we don't work in hospitals. We attend births at home. I came from New York and I had my first baby there, and I wanted to be a midwife when I was there, but it was illegal. And luckily there were some midwives practicing, and I had my baby at home there. Then I moved here about a year and a half later, and I was able to study here, and it's a much more supportive environment here. I became a midwife because I wanted to see I just feel like birth is approached in the hospitals from a point of fear and a point of, kind of staying in front of the malpractice, lawsuits and practicing, in order to keep from being sued instead of, what the woman really needs. My grandmother didn't grow up with that fear. It was like, I'm going to have a baby, and I'm just going to do it. You don't think about if you could do it or not. You just know you're going to do it. And in the last few generations, it's more like, well, I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to try, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. So I'll use drugs if I have to. And they don't know that midwives are trained, and that we're actually bringing emergency equipment, and we actually have options if something goes wrong. Once they understand that, they usually feel better about it. But it's a lot of just educating people to know that we're not just hippies going out there and chanting and delivering babies, but we actually have training, and we learn by apprenticeship in addition to classes that we teach, and then we sit for the state boards. I get women that want to respect the process of pregnancy and want to be treated not as a patient or as a sick person, but as somebody going through an incredible experience, and they want to have somebody that's going to spend time and talk to them. I spend at least an hour with my clients when they come in, and probably 15 minutes of that is just going over the medical stuff, and the rest is just sitting and talking and developing a trust, getting to know each other, talking about whatever emotional things are coming up for them, whatever issues they're going through in their life. And we really get to know each other, and they know, by the time they're due, I know what they want. They know how I practice, and they can just relax and know that there's not going to be people there that they don't know. There's not going to be procedures done that that we wouldn't really have discussed beforehand. What I found was that everybody focuses on having this wonderful birth, but then you're there with your baby, and had a hard postpartum, and I decided at that point that it really made me decide I'm going to do this, or they don't get the support they need for breastfeeding. So I really wanted to be able to provide that support after the baby's there. Every birth I go to, I learn something new, and not only about the birth process, but about people, and about how we move through life and how we move through our fears. And it's so inspiring to me to see women, not the births that even go smoothly, but the harder births that women have to really go inside, and they have to really find a place where they can move through it. It's really inspiring to me to see that over and over again. to make a long story short, I lost the trail. I got lost out there, and it's really easy in the mountains here to get lost. And I ended up falling, and I broke my back. And it was Christmas Day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I didn't have much daylight left. And I fell. I broke my back. I broke 11 bones, actually. Broke all the bones in my feet. So I was hurt bad. It was looking like I wasn't going to make it out of there. There was nobody that was going to find me where I was. I had 2 young children at home and made the decision that, I might not make it, but I'm going to, try. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to just try. So I started crawling, and there was a house in the distance, and I was trying to make it to that house before dark, and I didn't even come close, so I ended up spending the night out there. A dog came to me in the night and helped me survive. It stayed with me all night and chased the wild animals away and helped me stay warm. And in the morning, I started crawling again. He actually led me to, it was his house. Anytime you face death like that, it's, it gives you a different perspective on life. My daughter called me up one night in the middle of the night. Actually, I was sleeping. It was like midnight, and she called me and she said, "Mom, I just have to tell you, I know what you went through to survive that for us. And, I just want to thank you. Okay, good night." The people that knew me before and the people that know me now notice a big difference. And probably what they would say is I've just really come to life more. I'm just more alive. It was a sacrifice for them growing up. They had, they didn't know if I was going to make their birthday parties or, I was always on call. And we also, had time. It was just, we never knew when it was going to be. Like, I could schedule time to be with them, and I always did. I always picked them up from school, and we always had that time together, unless I was at a birth. And then they'd have to be, sometimes disappointed if I wasn't able to, see their school play or something, which was hard on me too. It's a sacrifice for the family. We can't, if we're going to go on a vacation, we have to plan way in advance. But they also like what I do. Being a midwife has taught me that more and more, that, we're all going through this life. We all have things that we're going through. And if we can be there for each other and just support each other through it, that it can be okay. I sit in this room with my couples, and, it's just happy, and we have other practitioners in this office, and they're like, "Why are you guys always laughing in there?" It's like, well, we're not sick in here. We're just, it's happy. It's a happy time of life, and just to be able to go through that, especially with first-time moms, and, to experience that miracle with them. It's amazing. Yeah.